Hi, welcome to another edition of Antique Radio Archaeology. If you've been following this channel for a while, you may have seen the restoration on the Model 107 here and the Model 102 radios. You might even have seen the one that I did on the Model 101. Now, one of the things that I had said when I did the restoration on the 107 and on the 102 is that I am missing a plate right here, and I am going to look into having one engraved. I said that as well on this one. Now, on this one here, I did have a blank plate, brass plate, but it chose not to put it back in there. Now, these particular plates are extremely difficult to find. This Model 101 has one. If you look up here, it's mounted on the outside at the top. These two obviously are on the inside. What I have done is I went and talked to engraving companies all over the U.S. and I spent months doing this. 98% of all the companies I contacted cannot do this plate. I do not understand why. What happened since the 1920s that technology doesn't allow them to do this. I believe they can do it, they just don't want to or don't have the resources to, because there are other options available now. It seems like, now I went ahead and removed this plate. It seems like the biggest issue was the raised letters here and the fact that this is etched, not engraved. There aren't a lot of companies that do that, but those that do can do it well. So I did finally find a company that would do it, and I went back and forth with them on it. I had one company that was going to do it, but their cost was going to be in the tens of thousands of dollars. It was unbelievable. But this particular company wound up doing it, and I got a pretty decent rate on them. It's not cheap, but it was pretty decent. I had to buy 10 of them in order to basically make it worthwhile for both myself and them, and to get a decent price on per plate. So I went ahead and went with them. What I had done was I went into Microsoft Paint. I did a scan of this plate, and then I took the scan and went ahead and cleaned it up, and then created a graphic image that is clean and has that same font that this particular plate has, and I sent that to the companies that I was trying to get an engraved plate from, or should I say an etched plate from. I was able to work it out with them. It took them about 6 weeks from the beginning of the transaction till when they finally shipped it out. So I did finally receive the plates, and here it is. Now, compared to the other plate, as you can see, they're pretty much identical. Now, I will say that this one has a piece of plastic over it, so I will remove that before I install it. But the only difference that you will notice is this one does have bigger holes. The reason why I did that is I want to use screws on it. And the reason why I want to use screws is because obviously the brads that put in these old plates are going to be loose. And I really don't want to give the impression that this particular plate is the original, because it's not. It is a reproduction, and I want something to indicate that it's a reproduction, and that was my way of doing it. So I'm going to use that reproduced plate, and I'm going to go ahead and install them in these two radios. Okay, just for safety's sake, I'm going to go ahead and remove the top here. Okay, so I had a couple of holes that were added to accommodate this larger plate, which I'm obviously not going to be using, so I'm going to go ahead and use some Restore Finish to try and cover up the little holes that I filled in with mahogany putty. So I can't even emphasize enough how happy I am to have all this work come to fruition, because this has been one heck of a journey. It's been months and months of constant research and a lot of different emails, and it's just been an ongoing battle for such a long time, and the results are just outstanding. So I am just overly pleased with the results. Big shout out to Detroit Nameplate Etching Company out of Ferndale, Michigan, for their role in making this happen. And I'm just really thrilled to finally have these two projects complete. So that concludes today's video. Happy restorations, everybody. Hope to see you again next video. Goodbye.